It is the day. Today is the day. It's release day. You know what it's at. Straight dipping on jets. Ayy. Yo, man. It's finally here. January 22nd. To whom it may concern. Out in the streets, wherever you can grab music. It's probably at Strawberries if you can find it. Yeah, man, it's been a long time coming. Shout out to everybody who's been rocking with it, who's been hitting me, saying they listening to it, vibing with it. That's the biggest compliment, blessing, you know. That's what I do it for, man, so y'all can rock with it and enjoy it. It's week 16. It's been another crazy one. Feels like just yesterday we was here vibing out, you know what I'm saying? About to bring up Fitz in a second. Make sure y'all still subscribing to the YouTube page, G.U.M Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Follow me on all the socials, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, wherever y'all, you know what I'm saying, can follow me. I feel like there was one other thing I wanted to get into. Oh yeah, shout out my boy Suede. He dropped his new video today. What we talking about? What we doing? Something like that. I forget the title right now. Subscribe to his YouTube page. You can win $100. You know what I'm saying? It's a vibe. He was on the project too. Dynamite. You already know the vibes. But I'm gonna get to it right now. I'm gonna bring my G up her. Here we go. My guy,
Yo, what's good?
the mad scientist behind it all, Mistah
Yeah, let me turn
Fitzgerald.
this shit up quick. Yeah, what up?
Welcome to the.
Drop a bomb on him like Flex.
You feel it? Listen, man. We got that too. So listen, it's the biggest show in the game. It's Friday Night Live. You know, it's release day. To whom it may concern, officially out now everywhere you can get it. I make bangers.
www.imakebangers.com.
You feel me? You know I had to represent.
Love to see it. You love to see it.
You feel me? But it's I've been waiting to have this conversation. I purposely didn't ask you certain questions throughout this whole process because I wanted to have this conversation in front of the people, you know, just to go over and elaborate about the project. So before we get into all of that and, you know, how this all came together, let the people know who you are. Let them know a little bit about yourself real quick.
All right, so I go by the name of Mistah Fitz. I've been making beats for a long time and producing since back in '05. I've worked with all kinds of people from Boston and Providence and down to North Carolina. So I've been in the game for a little bit. Worked with some legends, you know, like Acrobatic. People might not, you know, Rex, a little bit older cats might know who that is, and then you know, still trying to work with some of the underground cats from the region. Really, I try to keep it, you know, local as possible, you know, and I try to work with people that I know and that, you know, that I respect and that I'm cool with, you know, to a certain extent.
Absolutely. So my question, yeah, actually, I'm my bad. I'm gonna dig in this bag for a little bit. So what got you into producing? Like, what made you go, you know what? This is my passion. Let me see how I can contribute to the art form.
Well, honestly, it's funny. It's uh, dude I went to school with, college with. He was telling me, you know, when I was younger, I always used to know all the words to all the raps, and he was like, "You should be a rapper," and I was like, you know, I don't know if rapping is for me necessarily, but that like got me thinking. I was like, maybe I should get into it a little bit, and so that's how I started getting into making beats. And then Maverick, actually, who I went to school with, who's DJ at Jam 94.5,
Shout out
he
to
put me on.
Maverick.
He was the one that put me on to Fruity Loops, which is now FL Studio. he was the one that put me on to that. So I got a demo of Fruity Loops, and then like that, I started making beats from there, and then it was just like then I sort of got into it from there.
Isn't it funny how everybody started off on the Fruity Loops?
It's easy. It's like it's. I don't want to say it's easy, like because like making music is not an easy thing to do, but like Fruity Loops is like a from like a program standpoint is accessible. It's like easy to get into. To like it's not some of these other programs like Pro Tools and and a lot of people use Ableton. I've never used Ableton, but like a lot of that stuff is more like intimidating when you look at it. Like Fruity Loops just is an easy way for me to get into it. And then like also too like a lot of hardware. Like I've never like really been an MPC guy. A lot of guys use MPCs. Like that for me was, and I use a machine, so it's just the interface can be intimidating to certain people. So so Fruity Loops is a very easy, accessible way to start getting into production.
Anything I made on there was trash, which leads me real talk. Every time.
Well, production is not easy. It's just like rapping's not easy. Like telling a story is not simple. You know what I mean? Like writing something that the people feel is not easy. Same way, like making beats is not easy. Like making music that people will shake their ass to, like that's not easy either.
Facts, facts. Um, Shout out Tiz, shout out Victor up in the spot. So yeah, so with that being said, obviously nobody comes out the gate fire. So what made you go, you know what? Starting off, my beats may not be where I want them to, but how did you know you could connect those dots and eventually, what made you keep going pretty much? Because a lot of people like me,
Well, for me, it was just like I love music, and so like it was never a question of like for me it was never a question to stop. Like I like it too much to stop doing it, and like the more you do anything, the better you're gonna get. So like I just enjoy it too much to give it up, and if you just keep doing it, you're gonna eventually get good at it.
1,000%. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, sometimes like even yesterday, I went back just to whenever I come out with something new, I always go back to like find some of my older stuff just to kind of compare and contrast, and I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
garbage. Like I see where I was going, but you're right. After time, you definitely start to progress and move forward and whatnot. I also wanted to say, if I haven't told you before, thank you for doing that. Putting me and Mav on the same track. That was a dope experience.
Yeah, that was a cool record. So that process was tough. I realized what I had gotten myself into when I started putting together a collaboration with artists from all over Massachusetts and Rhode Island. Like I didn't realize I was gonna have 30 MCs on a project, and I was gonna have to worry about going to this studio and that studio and waiting on this verse and that verse and paying this MC that much and whatever. Like I didn't the organization part of it was more than like I really like had gotten. Like I bit off more than I could chew, but then I ended up putting it together and putting it together and putting it out at the end. But it was I was just like, I'm gonna do this, and then like and then I wanted to like so when I make beats, like I try to make different types of styles of beats. Like I don't have like a style that like I wouldn't say that like if you're looking for a certain style of beat, you're gonna go to Mistah Fitz. I try to make different styles of beats, and then like I try to send the beats that I think, like the beats that I made that I think that the artist would vibe with. So I try to make different styles of all different types of beats. You know what I mean? Like I don't have like a lane really. Like I try to make all different types of styles of beats. And so, like, putting that album together, it was like, who's gonna vibe with this beat? And I thought that like you and Mav, I thought like you and Caliber and Mav would fit well together on that beat. And so that's why I sent that to y'all. And so I thought that like I thought it worked out well.
Yeah,
But like, I mean, like we got this EP, and I got a couple other projects in the works that are like totally different, like with different MCs that like are totally different style. You know what I mean? There was no samples on this project, not a single sample, except for the one joint that we never put out.
yeah,
And
that
then,
we'll get to that.
and then I got another project coming with Freddie Black from Newport. It's like all samples. You know what I mean? And so it's like it's just different. I try to make different styles of beats, and then when I'm looking at like who I'm gonna send it to, I try to think about who's gonna get on this record. You know what I mean? But I try to use everything at my disposal, like everything in my bag, really. Samples, no samples, sample packs. That other producers put out. Yeah, it's just really everything. Like I want to use every sound and everything that I have at my disposal to try to make the best shit, and I try to make different vibes so that way I have something for everybody.
Now that's dope because that was gonna be my next question. Oh, shout out John Hope who tapped in. Who else is up in here? Shout out Jay Spencer in the building. But what do you call it? Yeah, because I was gonna say like, what would you say you can consider yourself having a style? But you answered that. But on top of that, that's kind of what I was trying to tell you at the video shoot. I couldn't really articulate it. Like you kind of have, like you said, you kind of have your own lane, so it's kind of hard to put in the work to try to describe your type of beats. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
which leads me to my next question when putting this together, because this has been a long time coming. We were supposed to do this a long time ago, but you know how it is. Life happens, but it's been the perfect time. The pandemic. I was like, all right, I can sit down. I can make this happen. So my question is, why that particular batch of beats did you send to me per se?
So from a lot of your other work, like I feel like you're not really a sample guy. Like I feel like you've been on records that are sample based, but you're not a sample based guy. And so I wanted to come with different records that are a little bit outside of my comfort zone. I wanted to be a little bit more like you have a little bit more of like a radio sound, I feel like, and some of the shit that I do is a little bit more underground and dusty. So I wanted to come with records that I thought that could be radio records and also like good album cuts. So like Real is like a good album cut.
Okay.
Like that record, like it's not a single, like you're not gonna, it's not gonna get a lot of streams probably, but like it's got a ill, like, and you came correct on that. Like you rapped on that like very well. You know what I mean? Like you sort of brought it to where you brought it in the direction where like I was thinking it was gonna go when I made it, and then like trunk rattling, like that's a radio ready record. I feel like you know what I mean. So I was trying to make records like that, which were more contemporary, like more like in the now sort of records. So as opposed to some of the fucking more dustier records that I do, and as opposed to like the shit that I would make maybe for somebody else that would be more on like the Griselda wave, which is like it's also the now, but it's like a totally different lane altogether.
Facts. You know, it's very funny you say that because if you go through the catalog, yes, a lot of my stuff is more, I guess you could say, leaning towards radio friendly, but I honestly love the dust. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's
Yeah.
why I shine. So it's funny that you said that's what you sent me because thinking back now, because I'm like, because I was thinking it was a very, in a good way, an abstract bag. So I was like, all right, how can I make this work? Like I think the first thing I did was Dynamite, and I literally just went off the name of the beat. I was like, all right, how can I? Yeah, the first thing that popped in my head was the big lyric. So I was like, all right, I could just flip that, and then went from there.
Yeah, and that works great. That was perfect how you did that. trying to blow like nitro and dynamite sticks. Like, and that hook is fire. Like, you know what I mean? Like that. The beat's dope, but the hook is like I feel like is what sets it off.
Yeah, that was definitely a fun experience. Like it was funny because it was almost a joke the way it was like I literally just got off the phone with Chuck. Like that was the realest thing ever. And I was just like, all right, let me put this in a verse. And then I was, yo, it was funny how everything just came together 360. But speaking of trunk rattling, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little intimidated when I first heard it because I was like, I don't know, like because you know when a beat is so fire on its own, you're like, I don't wanna, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, but like it's crazy because like what you did with that beat is like it's crazy because like it's not what I expected. Because like when I made the beat, I made the beat for 16 hook, 16 whatever. I made it to have a hook, and then you didn't put a hook on it. You spit bars all the way through. So like I think the way that it came out is better than like I had envisioned because like you got bars and like you really spit on that record. And also too, like it's still like gives you that like it's still bouncy and like still clubby. Like even without the hook, like it still makes you want to nod your head and dance and snap your fingers and whatever. But like and then you got bars the whole way through. So like I was like, damn, this record's fire. Because there's not a record like that, and I don't know how big the record will get, like, but there's not a record out there like that. I feel like right now that's like clubby. It's got the club feel, but it's just bars.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what my inspiration or my guiding light when trying to attack that, I was thinking like Lil Wayne, a Millie, 6 foot, 7 foot, where it's like
A milli, a milli, a milli, a milli.
where it's just like he's just going in, and it wasn't
Yeah,
necessarily a hook, but he started each new thing with a millionaire. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I was
So I like what you because I now when you say that I can see it because you start at every sort of section with trunk rattling and different variation of that. So like I see now what you're fucking talking about. Like it makes a lot of sense.
yeah, man, that was a fun one to record. Um, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like I said, this very vulnerable. Like the actual title track, like I almost didn't send it to you. Like I was,
Yeah.
I was
But
like,
I'm glad that you did because to me, that's the best music. The best music is when you are saying something that the audience can connect with. Like, party shit is cool, cars is cool, girls is cool, smoking is cool, drinking is cool. But like when you are saying something that can connect with the audience, like that's when you make the best music. It's usually when you're vulnerable. It's usually pain, and it's usually something like that that will draw the audience in. Like that's the best type of music. Like when you've got feeling, like Pac was the best at that. Like when you can feel the
yeah,
music is like I love like slick bars like fucking Conway and fucking shit like that. But like when you can feel what the person is saying, that like that's the best type of music to me.
and even with that, I still was trying to slide my little wordplay in there. You feel me? Like I was like,
Yeah.
listen, man, I still gotta get jiggy, but it's. I know this is kind of a cliche question, but would you say you have like a favorite so far?
Off the EP that we did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's probably trunk rattling. I think that's probably I mean, that's because to me that's such a good record for the fact that like it's sort of like a radio ready record, but it's just bars. So like to me that's a unique record where it's like it's 808 driven, it's radio ready, but like there's no hook, and you're just spitting the whole time for fucking 2.5 minutes. Like, so that record's really cool to me. Like, I like that record a lot. But like the whole thing is like, Feel Me or Bel Air, how we have caught it before, or that's a good record. Real's a good record. They're all good records.
You know what's funny? Yeah, Find My Way, Bel Air, whatever you want to call it. That's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Like I usually have that one on repeat only because I don't know. Maybe it's the what's that sound like? Whatever you did that woo 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 like that joint. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just does something to me, dog. Like talk to me about making that beat if you remember that one specifically.
So that was made. I downloaded a pack for the machine from DJ. Shout out to DJ Khalil. But
Oh,
he put together a great sound pack for the machine, and so I downloaded that and I was just playing around with it. And his drums specifically are fucking bananas, but he had some additional sounds that weren't just drums. I started playing around with some of those, and that's where sort of the melody came from. And then I used the drums from that pack as well to sort of build out the rest of the beat, and then um, use some other sounds from that pack. But a lot of it came. I actually think the whole beat came from different sounds from that DJ Khalil pack. And I actually tweeted at him like his drums are bananas. Like some of the sounds and like the melody part of that doo 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 doo, like that was that came from that pack too. But his drums are fucking like out of this world. So I tweeted at him, it's like fishing with dynamite. Those drums are so fucking, they're so powerful, so crispy. But yeah, that pack that came from that pack. I was playing around with some of the sounds there, and then I was like, this is like a beat right here. Like this isn't just like a little sound thing here. This is ready to be a beat. So that's where I went with that.
and that's why I like it's so simple. Like
Yeah, like it's
oh,
not that. Sometimes it's not that difficult.
it just put me
For
in the zone.
me, and like that's the thing for me is because like I'm not. I mean, I was in the band like growing up in school, but I'm a drummer. I'm not. I don't play the keys or I don't play like the saxophone or other. I don't play the guitar. I don't play the bass. I don't play other instruments like that. So like I'm not I'm not like super technically like musically inclined, but like sometimes like the shit that sounds the best isn't that difficult. Like sometimes it's simple. Like and
Exactly.
sometimes you just gotta find the vibe. Like and sometimes like it's just like it's not that difficult. Like it's just like it's easy. You know what I mean? Like so it doesn't have to be super tech to be a vibe.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, man. That was it was fun to record. Like I literally had like what I'm saying, I draw from inspiration. Like I had the bottle of Bel Air right there. I just finished it from the night before, and then just sitting there zoning out to the beat. To me that's a vulnerable song. Like that's like both verses are just me just like really like reflecting on you know how I started, the ups and downs, trying to figure things out, like find my way, as the hook says. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, but
And I feel like everyone goes through that. Everyone's got to, no matter what, and no matter where you go and where you get to in life, like nobody has it all the way figured out. So like you're
yeah,
still trying to figure it out no matter where you go. Like from when you're in high school to when you're first start working to when you get your first apartment to when you get a girlfriend to when you get a wife. Like you're always trying to find your way. You're always trying to figure it out. So like that's a good record.
that's the truth. Speaking of, on the last part of that, the joint that didn't come out, man. One thing I can't stand is when I walk away from a track like I feel like it beat me. You know what I'm saying? Like I just couldn't figure it out. I was like, damn.
Yeah,
Like I like where I was going with the verses, but that hook was tearing me up, dog.
yeah. And I may need to tweak the beat a little bit so it's more friendly for a hook because it's got like sort of the elements of the original track in there, and so I think it's a give and a take. I think there's maybe your hook needs to be better, but maybe the hook part of the beat needs to be more um, open for a new original hook because it's got a lot of the elements of the original song in there, and so that sort of drives it. And so, um, actually, when I sent it to the engineer, he was telling me to try to do certain things to the beat, and then I was like, yeah, that makes sense, but we couldn't quite tweak it, and it's one of those things where it's like you can't once you've got the vocals recorded and then you're trying to tweak the beat. I
Yeah,
feel like afterwards, like it needs to be the effort needs to be a holistic effort, right? Like the beat needs to be made to the artist, and the artist needs to like the whole thing needs to work together. You can't take the vocals that you have that you're stuck with and then try to tweak the beat. Like you got to tweak the beat and have the vocals marry. Like you can't so like if I could fix the beat to where the beat was more sort of like some of the things that the engineer was telling me, and I could have like so the beat sort of laid out where it wasn't. There was sections of the beat where it wasn't so laid out to the original sample, and then you could have then that would give you space to create a new hook part from there. Like it's difficult, it's challenging when you've got that hook, and then you've got the shadow of that original record hanging over you the whole time.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're gonna flip a record like that, like you gotta come correctly when you're gonna flip a record like that. You know what I mean?
Especially
So
when you told me who you originally made it for, I'm like, come on, man.
so like when you have that, like you gotta do it all the way the right way. There's no cutting corners. You can't be like, okay, we got these vocals, I'm gonna tweak the beat a certain way. Like you gotta have everything working together in harmony. Like you can't cut corners like, oh, these are the vocals I have, I'm gonna tweak the beat this way.
Right.
Like you have to it's gotta be the artist has to be involved in the process of really making that beat to where the whole thing comes together the right way.
1,000%. Like one day down the line, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a whole new record, like new song, everything. Like speaking of, you know what I'm saying, to whom it may concern, out now once again, as the people need to know.
All streaming platforms, every app, everywhere you get music. www.imakebangers.com.
Hello, the
You
links in
want
the
to
bio.
support, you want to purchase, you want to give us more than 0.006 per fucking stream. You can go purchase the record at imakebangers.com.
For real. So I say that to say, you know what I'm saying, we definitely gotta get going on the next one. Hopefully, maybe this summer we'll get jiggy. You feel me?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready because I think we got something. I think we got a little vibe going. So I think I'm ready for a follow up. To Who It May Concern Part Two, another 5 records. I think we
Take
can
it
hit
to
them.
the next level.
Yeah.
But aside from that, you got anything else in the works? What's coming up for Mr. Fitzgerald?
So yeah, I mean, I got a couple projects that I'm working on right now. I got a project with my man Freddie Black out of Newport, Rhode Island.
Shout out to
We
Fred
got we got a
Black.
project coming. My man Magno Garcia out of Chelsea, Mass. We got a project coming. I'm probably gonna put out an instrumental tape, so beat tape. We'll have that coming this year, and then
Hello.
hopefully I had something with my man Tom Brown. We've been talking about putting out an album for a number of years now. We put out a record back in 2011, and it's been a long time since. And then yeah, I'm hoping that you and I, can put together another fucking 5 or 6 tracks and put something out before the end of this year.
Facts, man. I'm in the zone right now. I got a few things in the works myself, but Yeah, man. I feel like you said, we got a good vibe, got a good groove going. I can't wait to build on top of that. But more than anything, I appreciate you and building with me and putting this project out together. Uh, wish you much more success. Thank you for being on the platform. Any last thing you want to leave with the people?
Go check it out. To whom it may concern on all streaming platforms. www.imabanners.com. Go get you a copy. Go stream you a copy. Run that shit up.
Bong bong, Fresh Cut,
Bang bang.
Mr. Fitzgerald. All right, my man.
All right, be good.
One. Shout out Jackson 5 in the building, you know what I'm saying? Dallas representing. I'm gonna be out there in the spring, baby. Anyway, shout out Mr. Fitz, man. We put out that EP, To Whom It May Concern, streaming everywhere. But like you said, if you wanna support, you know what I'm saying, go to his website, imakebangers.com. You know what I'm saying? Cop this project, cop his whole catalog, you know what I'm saying? Go stream my stuff everywhere, Tidal, Apple, Spotify, all the good stuff. But it was a great episode, man. It's another edition, Friday Night Live. We the biggest, man. What can I tell you? Shout out to everybody who tuned in once again. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, G.U.M Entertainment. Follow me on all the streaming sites, Twitter, all of that. Hey, C Right in the building. I'm just about to get out of here too. You came at the very end. It's all good though. Shout out to Florida. Be safe out there. Um, one love, everybody. To Whom It May Concern, streaming everywhere. We out. Bang.